So I was going to just sit down and construct this big video with a lot of media and all that, talking about, what else. But I thought I'd just get on here and riff a little bit this morning. It's like 5 in the morning, Monday morning here in Alabama, and I'm out in the camper. We're actually leaving today. We're going to head up. It is like 150 degrees outside during the day. We're going to pack up, hitch up, load up, and head for the mountains. And we're going to be up there for a couple of nights up in the mountains, find some cooler weather maybe. And so I'll be taking the camera and I'll film a little bit up there and put it up on the channel. But obviously, I want to address the big fat elephant in the room. I haven't said anything since the assassination attempt, but here we go. Here are my thoughts. I've been just kind of waiting to see what other information might come out. I was shocked. Maybe I shouldn't have been. Maybe you were as well. That somebody tried to assassinate President Trump in Pennsylvania the other day. And first of all, thank God that he's safe. Thank God that his life was spared. When you stop and think of this utter miracle that happened, I mean, as you folks know, this was a matter of millimeters, less than an inch. Had he turned his head any other way, he just wouldn't be here today. And it's as simple as that. It's just, I can't see it as anything other than divine intervention that spared this man's life. And of course, we all saw the money shot, the fight. My first thought, as soon as I saw that, I was inside and I don't remember what I was doing, but Marina's sister had texted her and said Trump was shot. I didn't know what to make of it. And I noticed that my buddy Tracy had commented on a video, or something like, "Are you seeing this?" or something like this. So we ran and turned on the media, and sure enough, he was actually shot. But as soon as I saw him stand up, I breathed a sigh of relief and saw him pump his fist. And I told Marina, Donald Trump just won the election in a landslide. That was my first thought. This was an epic scene where the bloody president stood up, prevailing over his assassin, and looked at the crowd and told them to fight. I mean, I've seen so many posts and videos of people that you would not think would be voting for the president, who now are. I was watching this black comedian last night who was saying, "That's my boy. I'm all in for him." I mean, 50 Cent is pro-Trump now, for heaven's sakes, another one. This is going to energize. His base didn't need to be energized, but this is going to energize people out that are not typical Trump voters. This is a slam dunk, and I'm simply saying, barring massive, unprecedented fraud in this election, which is going to happen to some degree. We all know that. It always does. But I don't know if there's enough voter fraud out there to overcome what's going to happen in November. And I think that the Democrats know it. I think it's a fait accompli. I think Trump is going to win in an absolute landslide. I really do. I think the Republicans are probably going to grab his coattails and sweep back into power in all three branches. That's my initial thought. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's a terrible thing. But you just, you try and focus on the glass being half full. You try and focus on the positives. There is a positive in this. I wouldn't have this happen to Trump, of course, but the upshot of it is that it won the election for him. I think he was going to win regardless. I think he's probably got a humdinger of a speech that he's going to give at the convention this week. Just as an aside, I was disheartened to learn that Nikki Haley is going to be giving a speech. I wish that were not the case. And of course, let me quickly, while it's in top of mind, as Corinne Jean-Pierre would say, what I'm hearing and reading is that the choice of vice president has been whittled down to Marco Rubio, Doug Burgum, and J.D. Vance. I don't think it's a good idea to give up a Senate seat because they're so hard to get. If I had to pick of the three, I guess it would be J.D. Vance. It certainly wouldn't be Rubio. I don't guess there's much chance right now of my choice making the grade, and that would be Vivek Ramaswamy. Who knows? Perhaps Tulsi Gabbard could get some consideration still. I don't know. I don't know what Trump's going to do. I don't know if Trump knows what he's going to do, but he probably does. I just don't know which of those three he's going to select. But again, if I had to pick one, it would probably be Vance and then Burgum, I suppose, although I don't know that much about Burgum. But we've all seen the utter hysteria of the Democrats prior to this assassination attempt. And of course, there's been a smattering of these people, these Trump haters, these loathers, since then. Some of them have questioned whether or not this was a staged event. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. You all know Alex Jones, I'm sure, Infowars.com. Alex Jones has been utterly destroyed by the U.S. Justice Department. The basis of his destruction was on when he questioned whether or not the Sandy Hook shooting was a staged event. And for that, he's basically been bankrupted. He's been fined over $1 billion, with a B, billion dollars, ostensibly just for saying that, for questioning the narrative of the Sandy Hook massacre. Well, there's a lot of people out there, or some people out there, who are, enemies of Trump, who are saying that Trump staged this event. Well, does that mean they're all going to be bankrupted as well, or do we just have a one-way justice system in America where only liberals and Democrats profit? Now, I don't know what happened in Pennsylvania, but my thoughts are simply this. I am a conspiracy theorist. I spent the better part of my life being Mr. Gullible. I bought into the narrative from years ago that JFK was shot by a lone assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald. We all should know, at least by now, that was not the case. You could ask questions about John Hinckley and his connections to other powerful people, the would-be assassin of President Reagan. And now we're told that the would-be assassin here was this early 20s man by the name of Matthew Crooks. As far as I can tell, he was the assassin. But of course, so many questions, folks, are raised about this event, such as the utter, complete, scandalous breakdown in security on the part of the Secret Service. I was going to show you images of this woman who looks like Melissa McCarthy, this Secret Service agent who can't holster her weapon. If you look at the behavior of the agents post-shooting, it is utterly disgraceful. It's like the Keystone Cops out there. This is the Secret Service. And my first thought about this is heads have got to roll. Were I Donald Trump, I think I would be tempted to just say, you know what, you all just go on back to Washington and I'll take care of my own security, which of course he could do and has done in the past. And the incompetence, the utter incompetence of the Secret Service almost got this man killed, because the apparent shooter, the alleged shooter, somebody was shooting. This young man was apparently seen by a lot of people who were asking, what is this man doing on this rooftop, which was what, 150 or so yards away from the podium? Are you freaking kidding me? How is this possible? How could it be that this young man is there on a rooftop in broad open daylight getting off a clean shot at the president? There's just no explanation for this. None that comes from common sense. It's absurd. Republicans always get accused falsely, and conservatives always get accused falsely of being the nuts by the Democrats. It's the other way around, folks. You know, I've heard stories of people going to these Trump rallies where he just draws tens of thousands of people. These are good people. They're peaceful people. They are people who simply love their country and they want things set aright in America. They leave peaceably. They don't litter the grounds. They're good, hardworking, tax-paying, salt of the earth Americans who just want the America that we all love to be restored to what it once was, where everybody works hard and they play by the rules. That's what they want. But instead, we've got what we've got. Massive inflation on a war footing, utterly corrupt from the top down. Joe Biden gives this speech from the Oval Office last night, appealing for national unity. You caused all this, Mr. Biden. This is what you want. It's you who said that Donald Trump should have a bullseye on his back. That was you, Joe Biden. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, giving you example after example of all these Democrats who are calling for violence, calling for the very thing we saw over the weekend. We've got it on record. It's the Democrats who do this stuff, not the Republicans. It's these liberal whack jobs who have lost their ever-loving minds. They're given over to utter mad hysteria. They're the ones who call for behavior like this, not the conservatives, not the Republicans. There's just no excuse for it. And you've seen it all, undoubtedly. You've seen these people calling for violence. You've seen these people doing violence in places like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, and Atlanta, and Minneapolis. You've seen all this violence, all these riots, all this lawlessness. Yet it's Republicans who get blamed by them for this sort of behavior? I don't buy it. And I don't think the American people, by and large, buy it either. This is a critical time for this nation. I just hope we can survive until next January. I'm glad that Donald Trump survived. I'm glad that he's all right. It's a terrible thing that happened. But this is so one-sided. It's just inexcusable, the behavior of these people. We need an overhaul of the government. We need an overhaul of the Secret Service, and whoever the head of the Secret Service is, this woman that is heading the Secret Service, she should be fired today. Perhaps replaced, I don't know, with Dan Bongino. Just somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. I cannot get this image out of my mind of this Secret Service agent, this woman who is fumbling with getting her gun back into its holster. It's like, what are you doing? You don't even know how to holster a weapon, and you're charged with the protection of the president? And of course, there's blame going all around now. The Secret Service is blaming the local authorities who apparently dropped the ball. It's very sad that this one man lost his life who was protecting his family. Not so sad that the assassin lost his life. I have no sympathy for him. I can only tell you that I'm glad that Trump survived. It's going to be an interesting week, particularly in Milwaukee. I'm anxious to hear his acceptance speech on the night of his nomination. Are you going to be there, Liz Cheney? Have you got anything to say? Because you've used the similar rhetoric that people like Al Sharpton and Morning Joe have used. And Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, you've used this same rhetoric. But of course, you people hate Donald Trump, so you get a pass. If I could encourage you today, it would simply be to tell you what I've already said, that Donald Trump has won this election in a landslide. And I believe it's going to be so overwhelming so as to mitigate the fraud that will take place. So that's something to be encouraged about. That's something to be positive about. It ain't over, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over in America. We are on the cusp of perhaps a change. Now, Trump gets into office, what happens then? Well, my hope and my prayer is that sanity will be restored. I told Marina that Donald Trump is going to go into office with the most political capital of anyone since probably Reagan's second election when he defeated Dukakis. I think he won 48 or 49 states. It was similar to the Nixon landslide of 72 when he won 49 states. Trump is going to have, I believe, a landslide, and landslides give you political capital to do a lot of what you want to do. Hopefully, Trump will use his capital to normalize relations with Russia, with Putin. Hopefully, Trump will use his capital to start doing something about the deficit spending in America. I don't have a lot of hope for that, but that's got to be done. Thank God that Trump is all right. This man is a warrior. He's a fighter. He loves his country, and that alone makes it worth the price of admission, because unlike his opponent, he loves America. And we can at least expect to have a president who loves the country that he represents. Listen, give me your comments down below. I want to hear what you have to say about what's going on with Trump. What do you believe is going to happen? You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for joining me, everybody. The next time you see me, I'll be in the mountains. Trailer Trash Tim, and I'll see you soon.